This is Dee with Divine Needle, and this reading is about the lunar eclipse coming up on May 26th. I meditated on this energy, and I'll tell you what I saw. First thing I saw was a little girl sitting on the edge of like a little pool of water or something, and I was looking back up at her from under the water, and I could see trees and sunlight behind her. And then it shifted to what looked like a tower card, and I heard Overwatch as they showed me that tower card. And then it jumped to a scene of standing alongside of a road in a fairly deep grass, and a wagon or chariot coming up, drawn by two horses. It stopped, picked me up, and then I saw it leave, pushing through the dense, grassy foliage. The other thing I saw was what looked like a bomb exploding, like an atomic nuclear type, type explosion. And that's all I could really make out. I'm just fresh out of that meditation right now. And I was meditating on the energy of the 26th. We'll go to the machine, the holodeck, the grand clock. At this point, we've gotten past the 24th at 2:05, I think, a.m. The sun and the moon on the 24th will be at 3 degrees, one in Scorpio and one being in Gemini. And then on the 26th, of course, the sun's in Gemini now, so the moon would be in Scorpio. On the 26th, and Saturn here goes retrograde on the 24th. Jupiter has just entered Pisces and has moved from 0 degrees to 1 degree at this point. And we have Capricorn retrograde at 26 degrees, which is double the 13 retrograde of Saturn in Aquarius. So back to the twos again. Chiron is at 11 degrees in Aries, but Uranus, Gaia, heaven, has moved out of lockstep with the wounded warrior Chiron and is now at 12 degrees in Taurus during this snapshot in time. This is 5:34 a.m. Central Time on May 26th. This is when the sun and the moon go into eclipse. when they're straight across from each other. The nodes are still at 11 degrees, along with Chiron. And Neptune's still at 22, so half of that is 11, right? In the 11th house as well. No, that's not the 11th house. That's the 12th house of Pisces. Interesting. But that's where the planets are sitting. So we've got both Saturn and Pluto retrograde at this point when this occurs during the full moon. It's a super moon in Sagittarius. See? In Sagittarius. Okay, I had to stop recording for a minute because I thought I was going to sneeze when I said that. That was weird. Okay, so Gemini, the twins, the 11s. The sun is at 5 degrees at this point. And I'm going to delve into that energy and see what that means for us. It's very interesting because we have a pyramid without the capstone formed here. And this big giant between Neptune, Pluto, Venus, and Vesta. Anyway, so we're going to go back to the reading and see what that means exactly. I did a reading that I just released on Saturn turning retrograde and what that means. And that was a pretty interesting reading. And I'm still trying to sort out exactly what it all means. I just watched it back myself before I started meditating on the 26th. Okay. So, for the collective, what does this Sagittarius supermoon coming up eclipse mean for everybody? What does the supermoon eclipse mean for the collective? Well, there's the collective. There's the twins, the 11s. What does this supermoon? Have to do with the collective? There's that tower they showed me in the in my vision. The tower. A new vision. It's interesting because here's the bottom of the deck. And the phases of the moon are really standing out on that. So, we are the world. Friendliness. But like I said, I don't really look at the words so much as I do the pictures. Letting go. Water droplets falling into the water. You know, the vision I had of me looking up through water and seeing a young girl looking back at me through the water. That feels very much like that card. Participation. That card always reminds me of the archangels of the north, south, east, and west. But also a portal energy. Almost feel like that's spinning. It feels like it's spinning. This card always reminds me of the microcosm and the macrocosm. Why does that feel like it's spinning? And the tower energy. New vision. It's something you don't really notice when you're looking at this card, but down here in the greens and yellows, there's somebody down on their hands and knees. And it feels like below or just at cloud level. And then Grand Rising. That's my son. He just came in to say good morning to me. This feels like an arrow pointing up at some sort of portal. And then the moons. What pops into my mind is the moon is part of the reincarnation cycle, also the cycles of the divine feminine energy on the planet. but it's also about the reincarnation cycle. Okay. Let me put these to the side. I'm just going to sit with this energy for a couple of minutes before I start with these cards here. Okay, I'm going to pause for a couple of minutes while I sit with this energy. All right. You see how these people have joined hands on this card? And then the two trees, the two pillars, right? That to me represents twin energy, but our roots. So our planetary roots. This this image, I'm being drawn to the what feels like a black hole almost, or some sort of portal type energy here. And that's what this card sort of represents in the center, the very center of it. But notice the red, blue, green, and yellow. Notice the hands reaching across the abyss, reaching across the portal. See how their hands are all connected? And all the colors, they're connected. This is like the divine overlooking the microcosm. The macro and the micro, right? And the tower, see, let me pull this up before I go to that tower card. See what I mean? There's little hands reaching across in different colors to each other, which I never noticed before looking at that card. They showed me the tower when I was meditating on that day. And the two trees falling out of the tower, the twins, divine feminine, divine masculine. Is this where the new vision begins of what we envision as purple Gaia? Purple Gaia. All right, let's see what they have to tell us about the lunar eclipse on May 26th. What can you tell us about the lunar eclipse energy? What does it mean for the collective? The lunar eclipse on May 26th. Sagittarius super blood moon. Flipped on the deck. I know the moon will be in Sagittarius during that time. This reminds me of the vision of the wagon or chariot basically being pulled up through a field in my vision. Okay, what else can you tell us about the lunar eclipse on May 26th? May 26th. May 26th. Lunar eclipse. Interesting. That card was in the Saturn going retrograde reading. This card was in today's reading. And so was that one. Full moon eclipse. May 26th, full moon eclipse. May 26th. Okay. I was hearing before these cards came out while I was shuffling to pull a different deck. I don't know why, but we'll find out. They're wanting the Heaven and Earth deck for some reason. Okie doke, so the Heaven and Earth deck. May 26th, full lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. Empress energy right over that. And a star. Major Arcana. Anything else? Lunar eclipse. Power. Lunar eclipse. May 26th. Lunar eclipse. May 26th. That's all I have. Is that all you have? Okay. Set that deck back down. Okay, I'm going to sit with the energy for a minute or two. Okay. Like I said, in that vision, I saw a wagon or chariot pulling up through a field, and this card reminds me of that. Um, this card represents is the divine presenting the burdens. Is a divine test or divine intervention. This is the divine intervention, the Tower card. Are they going to help you carry the weight of the burdens? Presenting the burdens to test you. But the thing that's really sticking out to me on the card are the two sticks between the divine and the hands here at the bottom. Like this, the two. And then the sticks crossing it. It feels like hands reaching across the portal to create the bridge that this will cross. The wagon being pulled by the two bulls. Then we have the Queen of Swords, power and authority of air. Cutting out what no longer serves you. And then we have the Shining Flame. This is the Knight of Wands, Knight of Scepters, Lightning, and the Pry. And once again, the pagoda, the building in the background, very Orient stylized building, right? A tower. And it's funny because there's two little trees back here at the base of the tower. Two little trees at the base of that tower. They just stood out to me. They just popped off the card. I never even noticed them. Sulfur. Sulfur. The mixing is sulfur and mercury. The two little trees. Then we've got the demon card. This card has represented the contention between the U.S. and China. The node on this card. You know, Pluto is in Capricorn. This is the card of Capricorn. The symbol for salt. Sulfur. Then we have anything else sticking out to me? The Philosopher's Stone is coming to mind, and I'm not entirely sure why. There's a reason for everything, I'm sure. Then we have this Empress card. And when I looked at it, I saw, remember I talked about these guys coming through tall grass, a field of tall grass like wheat, right here at the bottom of this Empress card. And then we have these two trails of water coming down into the water here. It reminds me of this energy right here, because in that pool, it's like spinning up. And then again, repeated with the star card, the two cups spilling, creating that same splash in the water, right? My husband's up. I'm going to pause this. Okay. I spent some time with the hubby. He was telling me about a dream he had, that he was camping out under trees, under one tree, and they lit the other tree on fire. And, you know, the two trees popped out on this card for me, too. And this suggests fire, right? Lightning in the pry. The thing that popped into my head with this card was the whole, um, not only the grass that showed up in my vision while I was meditating, the tall grass, but and the chariot coming through that grass, but this, see, this is Venus. This is the crowning of the May Queen. So that's the crowning of the May Queen. Aquarius. It's interesting because if you look at the Gnostic teachings, they point at Aquarius too. The Empress, the goddess, is Aquarius. The two trees, the two pillars. So this event on the microcosm and the macrocosm, I'm trying to sort out. But that eclipse, Saturn retrograde in Aquarius is on this card, and Uranus, shh, Gaia, shh, heaven is right here. So the crowning of the May Queen happens on that lunar eclipse on May 26th. Valor card, stand in your power, stand up for what you believe in, stand your ground, hold your ground. It's interesting because there's a very dim scenery back here, and there's what looks like a couple of trees here, and a tree that becomes one with two shoots coming out. And you can also see almost what looks like a goat or a bull, and its horns right here. I don't know if you're going to be able to make that out. See what I'm talking about? Right here. There's the end of the nose right here. There's its face. There's an ear and an ear. It's got horns. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. It's very faint on the card. Let's see the trees. Look at the trees over here in the background. Mars, Leo, Venus, and Divine Masculine symbol. Mixing the cups of hope and faith. Unduly carrying the burdens of others and cutting out what no longer serves you, which is the burden of others. This is the fast hitting of the nights. Going after what you want and actually in the process of doing that. Overcoming fears. Creative, abundant, new seeds, the new vision, the new vision. Okay. So see, look at the wheat at the bottom. It looks just like the tops of the grassy field that chariot was being pulled through that was in my vision. There's 2 trees on this card too. You know, the vision of that bomb going off, sometimes visions are symbolic. So that could be this tower energy. You know, he saw one of the trees on fire while he was sleeping in his dreams.
Those cops doing that.
Is that the infinity symbol? I'll take a closer look at this picture. No, it looks reminiscent of this symbol, but it's the circles up here on the throne. Kind of reminiscent of that, huh? Looks almost like a lotus there on the top of the staff she's holding. The lotus throne. That is, I think this energy is the crowning of the May Queen. I think that's what this is talking about. Successorship somehow. overcoming fears. When you're meditating and you instigate all the chakras, you see the white bird, which is symbolic of the mother, and it's on the star card. It's all about Aquarius. It's just like the prophecies talk about. The Hopi prophecy speaks of Aquarius. The Bible speaks of it, where he tells you to follow the one carrying the pitcher of water. It's an Aquarius. Hmm. This is about the new vision for Earth and the new queen. Overcoming the battles, the struggle. It's a big tower moment. Overcoming the fears of ourselves and of others. This reading has a whole lot of meaning in it because there's wow, there's so much to this. And I can't even put it all into words, but it's about everybody coming together, and it's about the twins and this major the spinning going on here, down here in this pool, and here and here and here. I wonder if that's talking about Saturn, the timekeeper, being retrograde, time moving in reverse in Aquarius. Letting go. Letting go of the fears. See how these are connected? Letting go of the fears. That's almost like the dance. Of someone taking flight with the energy of fire, sulfur. Well, that eclipse in Sagittarius of the moon is obviously a very significant time for the world. And it's about letting go and joining forces to overcome the demon. When you look at the micro and the macrocosm, I've got kitties having a fit at the door. It's been one interruption after another for this reading. I'm not even joking. Everything happens for a reason, though. This is a big deal to all of you this day, because it's a new vision, new world, and the crowning of the May Queen. And definitely something to do with chariots being pulled through the grass. It's like your chariot awaits. I just heard. Your chariot awaits. All right. So that's what I got. Let me see if they have anything going out. Is there anything I want to clarify? I feel like I want to clarify the Empress and the Star, even though I'm pretty sure I know what that means. Oh, they just reminded me of this other deck, too. Clarify the Empress and the Star. There it is. Can't make that up. Power and authority of Earth, the ebony shield. That's what those two combined mean. That's the Queen of Earth. So I got it right. That is the crowning of the May Queen. The Queen of Earth, who is Aquarius. Wow, what a reading. All right. Since we're dealing with the moon energy here, we're going to take some cards from this. They reminded me just a second ago, don't forget. This reminded me about this deck, see? The cards mirroring each other, the moons. This reading's a big deal for the planet. A really big deal for everybody. Don't forget the cards. I don't know why, but I feel like that needed to go in there like that. For May 26th. Why would they remind me of these cards if they didn't want a card? They said they wanted a card. Pick a card, huh? Pick a card. Okay, let's do that. Pick a card. They're playing games with me. Pick a card. Full moon in Scorpio. Time to release negativity. We had that last full moon was Scorpio, I believe. And that's what triggered off a lot of people exiting the planet. And a lot of people going through the dark night of the soul. It's time to release negativity. That's a message to the world. Just release negativity. Let go. Hmm. So I picked a card. All right, guys. That's the reading. I hope you find it helpful. It's a big deal. Talk to you later.